Good afternoon, Trinidad and Tobago. I'm DK Roster. This is TTT News at noon. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley has had bilateral talks with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia on the fringes of the inaugural CARICOM Saudi Arabia Summit in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, on Thursday. A statement issued by the Office of the Prime Minister said Dr. Rowley's discussions with Saudi Energy Minister Prince Abdulaziz bin Salman focused on opportunities for the two countries to work together to create energy security for the Caribbean. Energy Minister Stuart Young and Foreign and CARICOM Affairs Minister Dr. Amy Brown were also at the meeting and are assisting with other engagements during the opening day of the summit. Earlier in the day, Saudi Investment Minister Khalid Al-Falih hosted CARICOM leaders to an investment roundtable meeting with leading Saudi private sector entities. The minister highlighted the Caribbean as a high-priority economic investment opportunity for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. In crime news, one man is dead following a shooting in East Port of Spain on Friday. According to police, at around 8:10 a.m., loud explosions were heard along St. Paul Street in Port of Spain. Upon checking, residents discovered the body of Jason Alexander lying on the roadway with apparent gunshot injuries. Two other victims identified as Shondell Bernard and Ala Hippolyte were also shot and are being treated at hospital. In lighter tidings, Mi Paranda, that means My Parang, and it's the theme of this year's Youth Parang competition. Youth Officer of the National Parang Association, Joseph Bertrand, says it was chosen to engage the nation's school-going youth to inspire them to own this part of our culture.
But what we're looking at is a level of ownership, firstly, for our youth, understanding that Parang belongs to us. And Mi Paranda meaning my Parang. So as soon as they hear the theme, this particular culture belongs to us. This particular culture belongs to me, and let me come and do this work in terms of the culture.
Mr. Bertrand says both levels of schools are getting ready to put their best foot forward to grab the spoils this year.
Our primary schools and secondary schools do battle this weekend for Parang supremacy. The junior Parang competition is on this weekend. So Saturday, we have the primary schools, and Sunday, secondary schools. And this will be hosted at Bishop Anstey High School.
Parang tradition, history, and even the culinary arts were the basis of preparation for this year's Parang competition, which pits the best of schools against each other. Who knows the best or the king of soca better than the ultimate insider? Words from Elizabeth Lady Montano as she shared the inspiration behind writing her university thesis on her son, Machel Montano. She has now turned this into a book.
Well, the juice that is in there is the truth, right? I believe in the truth. You know, like when I was doing this thesis, I remember doing a presentation where somebody said that I shouldn't be the person doing it, or I shouldn't be the person interviewing Machel, but I said, so then who? You know, because who knows Machel more than the ultimate insider? And they said that he may not want to tell me something that he will tell a stranger. I said, they have it wrong side. Yeah. I said, because he'll tell me everything, and most things he wouldn't tell you, so that I will share with you those things that you wouldn't know.
The book titled The King of Soca will give insight of Montano's entire career.
I did it from, as I said, Machel's experience and who he worked with. And I thought that to do this, I wanted to cover the young, the not so young, and the greats. So it was sort of, I sort of embodied this in the different eras. And Machel had different eras. So you had the very early years, and then you had the Whiner Boy, and then you had the HD, and then you had Monk Monty. So I then decided I'll do it in eras. And in doing it in eras, I also did it with the people he worked with during those eras and the different types of music. So I chose special things that I think people would be interested in.
Montano, who has been gracing the stage since the age of 7, holds the title of being a 7-time Soca Monarch champion. The senior citizens function Legends Leisure Lunch proved to be a joyful occasion for the elderly community in the city of San Fernando. The MP of San Fernando East, Brian Manning, said that the city is creating programs geared to giving young people the opportunity to interact with the elders of society.
I've been working with the mayor of San Fernando. We're working on a few programs to really try to team up a lot of our senior citizens with young people in our community that need this kind of guidance. And our young people are crying out every day. Every day they are crying out for role models, they're crying out for someone to be there, crying out for someone to care. And there's a lot that we all can do.
At the event, various enterprises treated the venerable retirees to beauty, health, and spa treatments. Mr. Manning stated that they still have a lot to offer to the community and the society.
At this stage in your lives, you still have a lot to offer to the people, and especially young people of San Fernando. They need your guidance, they need your wisdom, they need your direction.
To the weather now, this afternoon will be partly cloudy and breezy with intervals of light to moderate showers. There is a 20% chance of isolated heavy showers or thunderstorms. Tonight will be mostly fair and hazy despite a few brief showers. Seas are moderate with waves up to 2.2 meters offshore, below 1 meter occasionally choppy in sheltered areas. This is TTT News at noon. Follow us for these stories and more on Facebook, X, Instagram, and YouTube at TTT Live Online. More news after the break. Stay with us.
Hello, I'm Pastor Lisa Singh from Heavenly Grace Ministries in New York, and I'm taking this opportunity to invite you to join me right here every Sunday morning at 6:30 a.m. We have been doing some exciting teachings, and we're coming on to the teaching of 5784, which is just going to give you direction for the new year. So right here, every Sunday morning, 6:30 a.m., I'm praying for you and your families. God bless.
There is no need to suffer. You can come down to the Optimal Life Wellness Center, where it is safe, it is affordable.
You don't have to take my word for it. You can come down to Optimal Life Wellness Center and see for yourself and experience for yourself what I have experienced. The life I now live is a lot healthier and more fulfilling. These products have actually given me a sense of a future, and very, very important.
I'm Renee Sion with another edition of Caribbean Week in Review.
Welcome back to football news. Angus Eve came within 9 minutes of orchestrating an away draw versus the United States with a strong defensive formation in the first leg of the CONCACAF Nations League quarterfinal fixture. Trinidad and Tobago held for most of the match despite being down to 10 men after Noah Powder was expelled in the 37th minute following his second yellow card. But it all fell away for the Warriors in the 81st minute when Ricardo Pepi opened the scoring in Texas for the home team. Just 5 minutes after that, it was 2-0 when Anthony Robinson beat goalkeeper Denzel Smith, who was outstanding on the night. The return leg at the Hazley Crawford Stadium on Monday was made extremely difficult for Eve and his men in the 89th when Giovanni Arena made it a 3-0 final scoreline. Tobago is amongst the selected venues to stage the Dream 11 T10 Blast cricket competition, which begins in earnest today and runs to December 3 at the Shore Park Recreational Grounds. The event, sponsored by Dream 11, the Mumbai, India-based fantasy sports platform, is being hosted in the Sister Isle for the first time after 4 successive editions at the Brian Lara Sports Academy in Taruba in 2022 and 2023. At the insistence of the TNT Cricket Board President Azim Basrath, also the Vice President of the Cricket West Indies, President of the Tobago Cricket Association, Kerwin John, was offered the opportunity to make an international footprint on the shortest format on the game. As in the previous editions, all matches will be live streamed with 2 each day at 12 noon and 2:30 p.m. respectively. The Dream 11 Bago T10 involves 6 teams vying for the first prize of $100,000. And that's TTT News at noon. I'm DK Roster. Have a good day.
This is TTT. Live for local.
In Peru, the Congress approved the bill that reestablishes the bicameralism of the parliament with 98 votes in favor, 23 against, and 1 abstention. So it needs to be approved in the next legislature to go into effect.